This is the Realme GT6. It has launched in India at 41,000 rupees and you can get it for 37k with bank discount. Honestly, I wasn't expecting this phone to be priced this aggressively considering how Xiaomi and Moto price their phones, but I think Realme is on to something this year. We have been testing this phone for the past few days. We've also compared it against the Xiaomi CIVI 14 where we have found some very interesting insights. It's going to be fun. Watch till the end. Let's get started. Guys, this is the GT6. Go ahead, come on. First of all, these are the updates that GT6 brings over the GT60. Starting with the price, you see an upgrade of 8,000 rupees here. By the way, I'm considering the 8256 model for a fair comparison. Other than that, you get an overclocked 7 Plus Gen 3 aka 8s Gen 3 with some AI features, a premium glass back, an upgraded camera setup and some minor upgrades here and there. But everything else remains pretty much the same. On paper, these upgrades seems okayish, but in reality, they add a lot to the experience. I'll talk about that in a bit. But before, let's talk about the design. In terms of design, these phones look the same. Other than that, the dimensions of both the phones are similar, but the in-hand feel is different as the GT6 is slightly heavier because of the glass back and it's slippery too. This shiny texture doesn't remain shiny for long because of these fingerprints. Apart from that, you get all the usual buttons and ports along with an IR blaster at the top. The phone is also IP65 rated, but there's no protection on the back glass and the frame is still plastic, although I would have liked a metal frame here. By the way, there's also a razor green option that looks better than this silver variant. I really wish Realme had sent that color, but wow. Alright, now the display is the same as the GT60, kind of like the back. It's a 1.5K 120Hz LTPO panel with Gorilla Glass Victus 2 protection. Although Realme claims 6000 nits of peak brightness, but it could only reach 2680 in our testing. However, it gets plenty bright even in harsh sunlight and colors look vibrant as well. In comparison to other phones too, this phone is a lot brighter, as you can see here. You also get a proper always-on display, the in-display fingerprint scanner works well, and the screen can also be used with wet fingers, which is good. The only thing problematic with this display is that it's a curved panel which some people do not prefer. And if I talk about the movie watching experience, well, it's sort of a mixed bag. The movies and shows look good on Prime and YouTube as you get HDR support and the stereo speakers are also loud and crisp. Although they do not come with Dolby Atmos support, but there's no HDR on Netflix and it won't come anytime soon. This is something you should know. In terms of multimedia experience, I found CIVI to be better than GT6 as it brings Dolby Vision support in Netflix and the stereo speakers sound fuller compared to Realme. And for the haptics, it is an X-axis linear motor and even though it is integrated well into the UI, the haptics don't feel that strong. It is good while typing but weak in the UI. Now let's talk about the specs and performance. Realme GT6 is powered by Snapdragon 8s Gen 3 with up to 16GB of LPDDR5X RAM and 512GB of overclocked UFS 4.0 storage. We have the top end variant with us and let me just show you the benchmark results. In Antutu, this phone scores highest compared to any other 8s Gen 3 phone that we have tested this year, although in Geekbench it's somewhere in between. Since this phone comes with an overclocked UFS 4.0 storage, we also ran Antutu storage tests to see if that actually makes any difference, and it does. In fact, GT6 does score better than other phones. But when it comes to the stability, this phone suffers in both CPU and GPU tests. The max temperature that we saw on this phone was 44 degrees, and that too while running benchmarks. Now it's on the higher side, but it's still less than what we have seen on other 8s Gen 3 phones this year. Enough of these benchmarks, it's time for gaming. In gaming, this phone performs like it should. We get 90 FPS in BGMI and 120 FPS in COD Mobile, which is quite good, and the gameplay is also quite smooth. In demanding games like Genshin, the phone handles it easily, and in Warzone, you get 50 FPS throughout. 8s Gen 3 also supports ray tracing, so I played War Thunder with the maximum settings and it didn't stutter at all. I also recorded temperatures after each gaming sessions and the phone never crossed 42 degrees, which is decent. And not just that, you also get some additional gaming features which are quite useful, such as RAM allocation, geek power tuning where you can change the clock speeds, hyper HDR and more. Out of all the features, the 4D game vibration didn't show up for me in any of the games. But all in all, this is a very good phone for gaming. In day-to-day usage as well, this phone performs quite well. The RAM management was quite good as apps remained in the memory the entire day. Animations are pretty smooth and I didn't experience any lag or stutter even once. Now the thing that you guys are waiting for, the cameras. These are the camera specs of the GT6. You now get a Sony LYT-808 sensor as the main camera with an addition of a telephoto lens, while the rest of the sensors remain the same as the GT60. Now I took a lot of photos from this phone and I am quite impressed with these cameras. Let me just show you the camera samples. In daylight, the photos come out very good, the details are on point with natural colors and the HDR is also handled quite well. Telephoto shots also repeat the same story, but the ultra-wide photos lack detail. I genuinely feel that 8 megapixel ultra-wide cameras should get banned in 2024, at least in this price segment. Hit like if you agree. One thing though, the color tone remains same on all three lenses. The phone also takes some very good portraits with natural colors, good bokeh effect and rich details. Plus the selfies also come out nice and there's no unnecessary smoothing or beautification. In nighttime also the photos come out good from all the sensors, which isn't the case usually. In terms of videos, you can shoot 4K 60 from the main sensor and the video is pretty stable and sharp. The front camera can also do 4K 30, which is nice to have, but yeah, you can't switch cameras while recording. By the way, I also compared GT6 camera with Xiaomi 14 CIVI to give you guys a better understanding. In daytime, both the phones take very good photos from the main camera, but CIVI takes better ultra-wide shots while Realme comes on top with better portraits. Overall, I found the cameras on GT6 to be better than CIVI, and there's a Google Drive link of camera samples of both the phones and you know where to find it, right? Now coming to the software, Realme GT6 is running the Realme UI 5.0 based on Android 14 with a promise of 3 years of software updates and 4 years of security patches. You get the usual features such as file dock, link to Windows support, along with 2 very useful AI features. First up, with the AI Smart Removal in the Gallery app, you can remove unwanted objects from your image and this works good enough. And secondly, with the AI Smart Loop, you can drag an image or text to the sides to quickly share it. Let's say you've received an address on WhatsApp, you can simply drag it to the sides to open it on Google Maps. This is quite handy, isn't it? Now you also get 5 pre-installed apps with these ads in the search menu, and you also see these annoying notifications. See, I kind of expected it, but I wish Realme had toned down ads on this device because it's currently their flagship in India. In terms of battery, you get a 5500 mAh battery with 120 watt fast charging support. The phone goes from 9 to 100% in just 29 minutes, which is quite good, but what's even better is that the SOT on this phone is in double digits, almost. I got around 9 hours and 45 minutes on this phone with medium to heavy usage, so the battery life is insanely good on it. And yeah, the overnight battery drain is just 3% with Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and mobile data turned on. Plus you also get a charger in the box, and if you're wondering, well, it's not a PD charger. On connectivity front, I didn't face any issues while taking calls or browsing as it was all smooth, but while I was transferring the camera samples from my phone to my laptop, the slow Type-C speeds tested my patience a bit. Apart from that, you get all the required 5G bands, Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth 5.4 and NFC. There's no eSIM support though. Now the big question is, should you buy this phone? To answer this, let me just give you a complete perspective. First of all, out of all the 8s Gen 3 phones, this phone feels like a complete phone that is pretty good in almost every aspect. It gives you a solid performance without getting too hot, takes very good photos, comes with an LTPO panel, the battery life is insanely good and is also priced right. Of course, Realme UI does come with ads and the curved panel is a personal choice, but other than that, there's no major con on this phone. And even if I compare it with other phones such as the 12R or the iQOO Neo 9 Pro, Realme GT6 comes very close in performance. Plus it has better cameras, a better display and an unmatched battery life. So Realme GT6 is a phone that I can easily recommend. Okay, so that's it from my side. If this video helped you, press that like button, and if you guys have any more questions about the GT6, feel free to ask in comments and we'll answer them. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.